everyone, it's Miss Ellie from the Crown Point Community Library, and we have a very special story time today. Do you know what holiday is coming up? Mother's Day, that's right. So today we're going to learn a special song with some sign language, all about mommies, and then we're going to have a Mother's Day story, and then we are also going to learn how to make paper flowers for Mother's Day. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So first, I want to teach you the sign language for our song. So we're going to learn to spell the word mommy. I know not everybody calls their mom mommy, but a lot of us do. So this is how you're going to do that. Take your fingers, put them up here. So M is like this. You fold your four fingers over like that. Then we have O, so you just make an O like that. Then we've got M again, and then we've got Y like that. So just the pinky and the thumb are sticking up, okay? And then at the end of the song, we're going to spell I love you. You might already know how to do this on one hand. I've seen people do that before, but we're gonna actually spell the letters. So I is like this, just your pinky. L is like this. O, we already learned. V. And then E is where you take your four fingers, kind of like the M, but you're kind of scrunching them up above your thumb, like that. Then we've got Y again, O, and U. It's where you just take your two fingers and stick them together. So the V is like this, the U is like this. Okay, and our song, the tune of our song is actually a song you might have already heard before. It's the Oscar Mayer song. So if you kind of think of that in your head while we're singing, it might be easier. So it goes, oh, my mother has a special name. It's M-O-M-M-Y. My mother has a special name. It's M-O-M-M-Y. Oh, I love to hug her every day, and when I kiss her, I will say, Mommy, Mommy, I love you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Did you do it? Fantastic. Okay, so we can practice one more time, and then maybe you could sing it for somebody special on Mother's Day, okay? So it goes, oh, my mother has a special name. It's M-O-M-M-Y. Oh, my mother has a special name. It's M-O-M-M-Y. I love to hug her every day, and when I kiss her, I will say, Mommy, Mommy, I love you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. It's kind of hard when you get singing fast, isn't it? Okay, so we got to practice that for Mother's Day. We've got a couple more days. So the story that we are going to read today is a Berenstain Bears story. And I really like Berenstain Bears. I don't know if you've heard very many of their stories, but this is a good one. It says, we love our mom. So we already talked about a couple of words that people use for mom, and it's mother, mommy, mom. Some people call their mom mama, which is what I call my mom. And you'll see that the cubs in the book actually call their mom mama. So that is another word for that. Are you ready? The Berenstain Bears, We Love Our Mom by Jan and Mike Berenstain. Published by Harper Festival. It was springtime in Bear Country, and everything was fresh and fragrant. The trees were budding in bright springtime green, the lilacs were in full bloom, early butterflies flitted from tulip to daffodil, and all the mothers of Bear Country were busy taking care of their little ones. Mama Robin was feeding worms to her chirping little fledglings. Mama Rabbit was teaching her baby bunnies how to hop. Mama Frog was taking a jar full of tadpoles out for a stroll, and in the Bear family's treehouse, Mama Bear was taking care of her cubs. It was breakfast time, and Mama was cooking pancakes for the family. Mama's pancakes not only tasted good, they looked good too. She made them into little bear faces for Brother, Sister, and Honey. They always liked to eat the ears off first. See 'em? "Thank you, Mama," they sang, pouring lots of honey on their steaming hot pancakes. Mama Bear took care of her cubs in plenty of other ways too. She washed their clothes. She sewed their buttons back on their clothes when they popped off. She bandaged their boo-boos when they skinned their knees or stubbed their toes. She gave them baths, read them stories, and tucked them in at night. She gave them hugs when they woke up with bad dreams. All day, every day, Mama Bear was there for her cubs. "Well, I'm off to Grizzly Gran's," said Papa, finishing up his breakfast. "A rocker on her favorite rocking chair came loose, and I fixed it for her." "Can we come?" asked Sister and Brother. "Of course," said Papa. "Grizzly Gran and Gramps will be very glad to see you." Papa loaded the rocking chair, and they all set off. "Look at all the springtime babies and their moms," said Sister. "Spring is a time for new babies," said Papa, "and for their mothers, too. And don't forget, Mother's Day is coming up." Brother and Sister had forgotten about Mother's Day. They needed to figure out what they were doing for their mama on her special day. "Howdy, Grand Cubs," said Grizzly Gramps when they arrived. "Always great to see you." Gran tried out her rocking chair. "Why, it's as good as new," she said. "Thank you, son. You're so good to me." "Gee, Ma," said Papa, "it was just a loose rocker." "Well, little things like that mean a lot to us moms." Gran smiled and gave Papa a kiss. "Now, Cubs, come look at what I'm working on." She had a big scrapbook out on the table. "This is my mama's book," she explained. "It holds so many good memories." She pointed to a picture of a pretty young bear holding a baby, like this. "Who's that?" asked Brother. "That's me." Gran smiled. "You look so young," said Sister. "Look, there she is, holding their papa." "I was young," Gran laughed. "That's your father when he was born." "Our father?" they said. "You mean Papa?" "Of course," said Gran. "But he's so little," they both said. "Yes," agreed Gran. "He has grown." "Well, Ma," said Papa, "we've got to go, but we'll see you next week on Mother's Day. We're all going out to brunch at the old Grizzly Inn." On the way home, Brother and Sister thought about their day. That scrapbook and Papa doing nice things meant so much to Gran. "We need to do something special for Mama on Mother's Day," said Sister. "How about making a Mama's book like Gran's?" suggested Papa. "You could put together a scrapbook all about being a mother." "Yes," said Brother. "We can use family photos from the old box in the closet." "A Mama's book for our own Mama Bear," said Sister, nodding. When they got home, Brother and Sister sneaked the box of photos out of the closet, took it to their room, and got to work. They spread the pictures on the floor and went through them. They used one of their school notebooks for a scrapbook. They picked and chose, cut and pasted, lettered and colored, and by supper time they were done. They hid the finished scrapbook away in a drawer. They couldn't wait for Mother's Day to arrive. A week later, Brother, Sister, Papa, and Honey ran into Mama and Papa's room first thing in the morning. "Happy Mother's Day," they called. "Here's your present, Mama." "For me?" said Mama sleepily. "How nice." And she unwrapped her present.
Why, it's a Mama's book, just like Gran's, she said. How wonderful! I've always wanted one like it. Thank you, my dears. And she gave them all a big hug and a kiss. Then she opened the book to the first page. Mama's book. It had pictures of Mama and her 3 babies, brother, sister, and Honey. You were so cute, brother, said Mama. So round and plump. We called you Chubby Cubby, Sister laughed. But you, sister, said Mama, you cried all the time. We called you Cranky Paws. It was Brother's turn to laugh. Then Honey came along, said Mama. She was just so sweet, we just called her Honey. So there's Mama and Brother, Mama and Sister, and Mama and Honey. Honey pointed to her picture. Baby, she said. The rest of the scrapbook was full of all kinds of pictures of the family. There was Brother learning to ride a bike, Sister on her first day of school, and Honey waving. There were birthdays, picnics, vacations, school plays, soccer games, and Thanksgiving dinners. They were all the things that Mama would want to remember about her cubs growing up. There was a tear in Mama's eye when she came to the end. Thank you, my dears, she said again, hugging them all. This is the most wonderful Mother's Day gift I have ever gotten. Happy Mother's Day, Mama, Brother and Sister said. Happy, said Honey. And now, said Papa, it's time for us all to get ready to take Mama and Gran out for their Mother's Day brunch. And that is exactly what they did. The end.
Okay, so just like in our story, the cubs made a gift for their mama. I am going to teach you how to make paper flowers for whoever you might want to give this to. These are called paper lilies. Usually lilies in nature are orange, yellow, red, pink, or white. The paper that I have is kind of an orangey color. If you come to the library and pick up a bag, you're going to get 2 pieces of colored paper, different colors, and then you will also get 2 different colors of pipe cleaner, but then also 2 green pipe cleaners for your stem. And so I will explain what to do with those later. The first thing that you're going to do is trace your handprint onto one of your colored pieces. This works better with smaller hands, so I'm actually using my son's handprint. If you want to try to get 2 flowers out of your paper, you might want to put your hand in kind of the corner of the paper, and then you have more space. So depending on how you trace your hand and how big your hand is, you can either get 2 flowers out of the bag of supplies, or you could get 4 flowers. Because these are actually cut in half, the ones that I am using today, and the ones that you have in your bag will be twice as long, so you could cut them in half as well. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just trace the handprint. Okay, so now you can see I've got my traced handprint there. I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so now I've got my cutout handprint. What you're going to do now is you're going to roll the handprint up, and you're going to pay special attention to the, getting away from me. You're gonna pay special attention to the bottom of the handprint. So you wanna make just a little hole, see, like that? And that is so that your pipe cleaner will be able to go through there for the stem, but you don't want it any bigger than that, because then it won't actually stay together as a flower. So we're just going to do that, and then I'm going to take a little bit of tape, and I'm going to hold it together using the tape. Okay, so there's kind of my cone-shaped handprint. And then if you take your pencil or crayon or marker or whatever you use to trace your hand, you're going to roll the fingers down so they look like petals. It's kind of what lilies look like. Their petals open like that. Okay, so now I've got my flower part. Now I'm going to make my stem. So you'll have your pipe cleaner here. You're going to bend just a little bit of the top of the green one. Then you're going to bend a little bit more of whatever the other color is. It might be orange, it might be yellow, it might be pink. Just depends on the color that you got in your bag. And then you're gonna hook them together, bend the green one down. Then you're gonna wrap the orange, in this case, together so that it's stuck, but you'll notice that it's still kind of floppy. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bend this down, and it's not gonna quite be in half. So you're gonna have a little bit of overhang where the orange goes past the green, and that's so you can make that more stable. And then you're just gonna twist. So this is making the stamen of the flower, which is the part where the pollen is, and that's what the bees like. And bees are important. All right. So there's the inside of our flower. So then we're just going to take it and we're going to put it down into the flower. See how it's coming out the other side? We're just gonna stick it down in like that. So lilies, usually you can actually see their stamen pretty well. They have a pretty tall stamen. So depending on how many of these flowers you make in your bag that you have supplies for, I've given you a ribbon as well in your bag, and so you can tie them all together and make a little bouquet for whoever you are planning to share this with. Could be a mom, could be your grandma, could be an auntie, whoever you think deserves some flowers on Mother's Day. So I hope that you enjoyed our story and our craft. I hope that you have a wonderful Mother's Day no matter who you are celebrating with. And for more story times and virtual programming, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel or visit crownpointlibrary.org. Have a great week, everybody.